Welcome to the TMC Newsroom. My name is Rich Tehrani. Thanks for watching us today. We're at Interrupt 2011 in New York this week. On our program is Jim Ricotta, the president and CEO of Verdasys. Jim, welcome to the show.
Thanks, it's great to be here.
So tell us a little bit about your company.
Verdasys is 8 years old, and we've been doing the same thing for 8 years. We're a software company focused on protecting information in large enterprises, so a security software company.
Now, you also had a speaking opportunity at the show. I'm wondering, what did you talk about here?
That's right. I spoke today about insider threat and Wikileaks. Insider threat is, the idea of people in your company, either on purpose or by accident, can exfiltrate sensitive information. And of course, we had the Wikileaks examples last year where it was intentional and huge volumes of documents, confidential information were leaked. So I spoke today about the different types of insider threat, privileged insiders, different types of insiders, and how you can start an information protection program to, there's very few security problems you can solve 100%, but you got to be able to improve your posture and know what's going on in your company.
Now, you also have some news, right, that's related?
That's right. We announced a partnership here at Interop with Titus Labs. And Titus Labs makes a product for user classification of documents and data. So Verdasys, our product, puts software agents on all the servers and laptops and mobile devices in your company, and we can apply policies to the information that you touch. And Titus Labs lets users actually classify the documents they work with so that Verdasys knows whether this is highly sensitive, medium sensitive, or not sensitive.
So, in the Wikileaks example, was it Private Brad Manning, if I remember correctly?
Right. Yeah.
How would we have stopped Private Brad Manning in Baghdad? And would he snuck in DVDs that were supposed to be Lady Gaga?
That's right.
And it was really him copying all the sensitive information onto these DVDs, right?
That's right. What we learned from WikiLeaks is that physical controls aren't sufficient. There was video monitoring of Private Manning. There was there were guards, there was authentication, physical authentication, there was network authentication, and there was even some basic, what's called DLP, data loss prevention devices on the network, but it takes more than that. And so what you need to do is, the information that he copied to that DVD, it should have been classified, and there should have been policies in place, and there should have been a software agent on that PC that said, aha, you can read this because it's part of your job, but you can't copy it to a DVD. That's the kind of thing that Verdasys does.
There's an interesting point or lesson here, and that is that in that case, the potential penalty for what he did, and I don't know where it stands in the courts, but could be court-martial, could be, or I don't know if it's treasonous, it could be death. Right? That's the toughest penalty you're going to see, and even that didn't stop sensitive information from leaking out. So imagine a typical corporation where the charges are going to be far less painful, how difficult it is to protect that information, right?
That's right. That's why WikiLeaks is a bit of a game changer. It is a service, an internet service that can really do a good job of anonymizing you if you can get that cache of information, outside the virtual walls of your organization. You can. The only reason he was caught was he was chatting and exposing himself in other ways. So
he had his screen name was Bradass, I believe, which wasn't the smartest.
Right.
The smartest screen name if you're trying to protect your identity is Brad.
Right. So no, insider threat is it's a growing issue, and as I pointed out in my talk, the key question is it's not about locking everything down so no one can do anything. It's about secure collaboration. Companies want to have that joint venture in a new geography. They want to collaborate on a new product. They want to work with their suppliers or their other partners. So the question is, how can you apply some controls to do that safely, but still enable meaningful collaboration inside your company?
I'm thinking about, for example, tablets, where some people are sharing and collaborating via something like a Dropbox, and you download. Like I have a presentation, it's a huge PowerPoint that someone's collaborating with me on. It's 3 PowerPoints, it's about 150 meg, and I've got to download it here in my tablet to be able to look at it, and I'm thinking, well, what do you do with that? Because it's a tablet that you don't necessarily control. It's the Apple iOS, so when you get to tablets, I suppose there are certain things you wouldn't be able to do on a tablet because you just can't control it. Is that correct?
Well, in your Dropbox example, Rich, we've got a great solution for the world of PCs. So again, think of a big company, there's people all over the world, they want to use Dropbox because it's handy. You could, if you had the Verdasys software on all the PCs or on the PCs of these particular users, you could write a policy that says anything that leaves the company is going to be encrypted, and the only people that can decrypt it are people in the same company with the right permission.
Right.
So that means you could securely use Dropbox. That file goes up, comes down, and if anyone intercepts it in the middle, they can't do anything with it. Now, when it comes to tablets, we did announce a couple products and a roadmap we call it EIP Mobile. EIP stands for Enterprise Information Protection. Mobile means tablets and smartphones. And we will have a prototype of an iOS agent at the beginning of next year, and we'll productize it by the middle of next year. So we can do the same thing between PCs, Macs, and iOS devices as we can between PCs and Macs today, and Linux boxes.
Okay, fantastic. Well, thanks for being here today.
All right, sure,
this is
it's
great.
great. Thanks for having me on.